Yo, what up, what up? We got here Scotty ATL, the Cooligan. You know what I mean? I've never really gotten to Scotty music. You know, other tapes he got is entitled Faith, Traffic Jams, OTR, 2SJ. But I always used to see his tapes, but I never really took a chance on it and listened to it. For some reason, this title, the way he put it together, the cool again. You get, if you read it wrong, it's like, oh, the cool again. No, the cool again, making things that was once not so cool, cool again. You feel me? And it's a story within the project, and I was really amazed. This is different from ATL. You know what I mean? I always thought B.O.B. was the more introspective kind of artist, but I was wrong. You know, Scotty definitely got some music on this joint. And he basically gave you a story. I would call this shit damn near an album. I wouldn't call it a mixtape because the feel of it is definitely an album. Now, I was maybe I'm just surprised because I've been sleeping on his music and this is my first time hearing it. But I gotta say, by far from what I can tell by listening to it, this is his best work. You know what I mean? But anyway, features, you got B.O.B. on here, Currency, Saha the Prince, Char J, Snooty Wow, 8 Ball, Devin the Dude, an artist by the name of World. Who else in this joint? I think that's about it. But anyway, man, opening up the mixtape is Welcome to the Cooligan. Where at the end of the record, you know, he basically having a combo with his chick about loyalty, basically. You know, he's saying some real shit in the song, and he just breaking down a couple things about himself, you know, in the game, and things that he been through trying to get to where he at. And the combo at the end of the song sets off the tone for the project. Definitely a dope beat, and his flow was on point. Moving to the Art of War, crazy beat, storytelling. You know, yet again, got another phone combo in there, but it's not what you think. It's a phone combo within the song, basically about the art of war. You know what I mean? Telling about hating ass niggas and niggas that be plotting. And the lyrics was on point and was some real shit. And you got DJ Drama, you know, his little drop at the end. That was pretty dope. Moving on to Speed Up, I definitely fuck with that beat. I definitely think it's different. That sample is on point. You know, he spazzed in them lyrics. You know, the hook was cool. Not cool in a bad way, cool in a good way. You know, definitely you got to pay attention to it. Moving on to Bust It Open featuring B.O.B. I ain't like it. You know, I just felt like that's a filler track. You know, you could have kept it moving off that. Moving on to Cannonball. This is a creative song for the subject. The way he described what he, for me, is Cannonball was definitely creative because of the simple fact that for the subject that he talked about, he was creative. He could have kept it plain and simple, but that's what made it dope. Going into Fantasies, which is my first favorite track off this project, featuring B.O.B. and World, I definitely love a melodic beat. You know, they basically talking about a beautiful woman, you know, in their own, I guess, desire in a way of asking a woman what's her fantasy. You know what I mean? It's nothing like Ludacris record. It's pretty deep. Not deep, but it's just pretty dope and, you know, more melodic in a way. Hook is definitely on point. Going into number 7, which is Incredibles, my second favorite track off this, featuring Currency. You already know jazziness at its finest. I love the sample. The hook was okay, not bad, you know what I mean? Both of them spit vivid lyrics. You know, you definitely get a feel of what they talking about. And I thought that was dope. Going into Nigga Concentrate, my third favorite track off the project. You know, got a Kanye clip in the beginning of it featuring Saha the Prince. They both did their thing on it. You definitely got to listen to what they're saying, especially Saha verse. You know, some would say it's not his best, but at the same time, he did. I admit it was light for a Saha verse, but he still gave you some lyrics and some bars. You know what I mean? The mellow is the beat, the sample, and it just made sense. But definitely listen to that Kanye clip because it sets the tone for the song. Moving on to Never Switch Up, basically a song about loyalty. You know, day ones. And I thought that sample fit this beat perfectly, and he just said some real shit in the song. You gotta fuck with it though. Moving towards number 10, 3 Steps Forward, featuring Shard J. Basically, you know, it's about his chick. You know, you gotta listen to the story. You know, it's definitely a story there. I definitely appreciate the beat. You know, the young lady on the hook definitely did her thing as well. And I just think it's something that everybody will appreciate. I definitely feel a sample on that. Moving on to Oh Lord, number 11, featuring Substance. It's basically about life and situations. You know, I definitely like the spoken word in the middle of the record. The hook was deep as hell. And he basically talking about, you know, how he lost his way damn near trying to get back to what he knows is right. Definitely appreciate that record. Moving on to Money Problems featuring Snooty. I think we all can relate to this, whether it's good money problems or bad money problems. I think we all been there. You know, we in a bad situation trying to get to a good one, or we in a good one not trying to get to a bad problem. You feel what I'm saying? I definitely think that's a very relative record for what's going on in the world. Moving on to number 13, Out of My Mind. He spoke of some real issues about his life, and I felt like this is where I got to know who Scotty is, because a lot of artists don't really give you these type of records. You know, when they do, they water it down to where it just seems like they're just talking. But at the end of the day, he definitely gave you his life on this song, and I definitely could appreciate that. Moving on to number 14, I Need Minds featuring 8 Ball and Devin the Dude. Smooth song at its finest. You know, you already know what you get with Devin the Dude. Legend, 8 Ball, another legend. It's just real nigga shit on this record, and I can appreciate that. And it was good to hear Devin the Dude. Like, I used to like him back in the day. My stepdad used to always listen to some of his music with my mom in the car. I think that was dope. Moving on to Running Through My Mind. I think we all been here. Melodic B, he definitely used auto-tune in a great way. It was dope. You know, we just all have a lot of things running through our minds, so you got to listen to the record. And the last track, which going back to number 14, is basically from having the phone conversations with his chick on track 1, 10, and 14. Now he at the point to where he, you know, she wants to leave him, and that's what goes into number 15, and which brings us to the last track, number 16, Never Fall Off. You know, it's just him, his life, repping his side, talking about everything that he been through, you know, just putting it all out there, and he want to make it to the top and never fall off. That's the whole point of it. And at the end of the day, if you really play this mixtape with an open mind, you definitely get his story. He definitely gave you a story. I mean, to me, this album, I definitely feel like this will make my top 10 mixtapes of this year. And it's a 9 out of 10 all the way through. The only song I didn't like was number 4. Production, 9 out of 10. This shocked the fuck out of me for a first-time listener. I didn't think this would be so dope. This mixtape by itself, just because he from the South, that don't mean shit. This knocks some of the other mixtapes off my list that was going to make it. You know what I mean? But I think I want to do something different with the mixtape list. But this definitely making that list. It's a great project. It's damn near flawless. But that's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all think about. Shout out to everybody in ATL, everybody in the South. I know y'all rock with this. I know y'all fuck with this. But if y'all not, y'all need to check this joint out, man. This shit is pure fire. Like, from a person that never listened to somebody's music to finally check it out, I can appreciate his music, and I need to go back and check it out and see what he was talking about from the beginning. But damn, this shit, the story alone was incredible. Wow, I appreciate it. 1.